Championship. Players, let's break!
Thank you, the first right. Naoyuki.
All around this vast arena, a cacophony of spheres, music to the ears.
Start the clock, please.
So off we go with day two, and already Naoyuki has suffered a setback. Mohammad Almuhanna from the emerging pool nation of Kuwait has got a great chance to run this rack after the scratch from the break.
He does, Phil. That was hard luck for Naoyuki as well. It's a nice break, got kicked in. And as you said, Mohammad, this guy's a great player. I was watching him hit balls last night, actually, and we're in for a good one, Phil. Real issues here. Play the 7 where he plays the 5 in all likelihood. That was a little close for comfort and a bit thin here. Might have to come around underneath the 9, or perhaps he can just hold it up. He went with the latter. Nice stroke there.
Yeah, nicely done. It really was from Mohammad Almuhanna, who takes a 1-0 lead, the man who beat Cody Myers in his first match 9-5 yesterday. Lots of action all around this arena. Also 1-0 up is Joshua Filler over on table 2. And just a reminder that if you want to see this match, you can do so live on Matchroom's YouTube channel. Joshua Filler in action against the American Thomas Haas. Trying to continue the defense of the title he won at the Mandalay Bay Resort in Las Vegas in 2019. By the way, one little bit of news relating to Joshua Filler. He won his first match against Joseph Blyler yesterday on the main table. You might have seen it. Well, I'm afraid Blyler's out of the tournament because last night, in his second contest, he was beaten 9-7 by Shamel Al-Azawi.
Well, a nice break there from Almuhanna. Pretty good look at this rack. The 5 to the 6 is something that warrants respect. Looks like the 2 to the pink 4 is fairly natural. 2 on the side, high ball, come back uptown for the 4. Naoyuki, of course, delighted to see that, Phil.
Yeah, it was the kind of mistake that, okay, can be made, but against these top guys, you can't afford to make them.
Indeed. Boy, he's such a great player. I'm sure a lot of you guys have watched him over the years play on the international stage. And again, this 5 to the 6 does warrant some respect. He's putting his cue down, trying to decide what angle he prefers.
Came through in the first round yesterday, 9-4 against David Dyer. And he's been on quite an encouraging run of form of late. Most notably last week in the World 10-Ball Championship, lost in the final to Albania's Eklund Kaci. 10-6 the scoreline there. But he showed a lot of heart in the semi-final, coming back from 5-1 down to beat a very accomplished Filipino player, Johan Chua, 10-9.
Absolutely, and off of the heels of a tournament here stateside, probably he's pretty acclimated, jet lag wise and so on. Lovely. Okay.
Naoyuki Oi wins the rack.
Good stuff from Oi. Looked pretty loose there. And with a really good run after he was made to get in there, capitalise on his opponent's mistake, he's on level terms. Naoyuki Oi on the left is trying to do something that no Japanese player has ever done before. Although they've had World 9-Ball champions from Japan, there's never been a US Open champion from that country. The closest, that was Takahashi Okamura, runner-up to Earl Strickland in 2000. That was the year when Strickland captured his record 5th title.
Yeah, incredible. And it's, you know, it's all subjective which tournament has the most prestige or what have you, but you can really feel it amongst pool players. The US Open, there's just something about it. It's a very rich history, so I'm sure he would love to put Japan on the map, but
Naoyuki Oi to break.
Still day
1
2.
rack each.
And he broke very well in the first rack. He just got kicked in, so let's see. I believe he made 3 balls on break number 1. Corner ball cooperates, and he gets kicked in again. This is and let's see if Almuhanna can capitalize after missing that 2 on the side. He really needs to clear these and kind of get going.
Scratch, scratch.
He's playing the 1-5 right now. Some players would elect to leave the 5 there because it's so close to the 6. Now the 4 to the 6 is possibly a little bit of a tickler, but he should follow 1-2 around between the 7 and the 8. Seems to be the most natural angle. Very nice. Although maybe a hair of discomfort. He looks a little flat. Might just stop right there and accept, but that's a shot that warrants respect. Because if we stop there, we have a bit of work from the 7 to the 8, so maybe he'll try to pull it back. Classy little stun to the rail and out. Nice angle to just drag it back to play the 8 in the side. Or maybe even just play the 8 up in the top right corner. Comes with the former, and he's a bit steep here. Should be okay, but a little more work maybe than he would have liked this early morning match. Beauty there. It's like 2-1 Almuhanna.
Mohammad Almuhanna.
The third rack, almost an action replay of the first. Naoyuki Oi unlucky to see the cue ball going off to scratch, and from there his Kuwaiti opponent did the rest.
No issue with Oi's logo on the back of his shirt, is there? Look at the big Japan.
Welcome back to Atlantic City. It's a lovely day here over on the famous boardwalk. People are promenading, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the unseasonably warm temperatures in mid-September. Inside, all kinds of action going on at the US Open Pool Championship at the Harrah's Resort. The centre of attention, Mohammad Almuhanna, who has taken an early 2-1 lead over Naoyuki Oi. The man responsible, by the way, for beating Joshua Filler in the World Nineball Pool Championship earlier this year in Milton Keynes, England. He beat Filler 11-6 in the last 32 before losing in the last 16 to Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Now, I'm mentioning Joshua Filler because he's engaged over on table 2 at the moment. And you can see that match if you want to, live on Matchroom YouTube channel. Filler, the defending champion, going nicely so far. He's 3-1 up on Thomas Haas. Here, it's just been a story of scratching on the break.
That it has, Phil, and that one is a lot more unforgivable, let's say, than Oi's, where both of his got kicked in, where a ball careened into the cue ball after a nice break. Here, Almuhanna just flew into the side, and that's something that all pool players know and dread. And he doesn't look too pleased right now in the chair, Phil. 6-7 is a bit tricky, and he came up slightly short on the 2, I believe. Curious to see how he navigates possibly breaking up the 6-7 in some capacity. Maybe he can play for the 3 in the corner. So he's just playing it in the side. I don't think he can play it off of the 6. If he could just tickle the 6 off of the 3 and break them up, that would be ideal, but maybe he can. Maybe he can play it where he'll either just nick it or not hit it and then move on from there. He's surveying it right now. Oh, beautiful. He was able to go into it with some force. And that's lovely there. He opens up the 6. Perfect position on the 4 to come around for the purple 5. And
yeah, playing that shot with force, he basically went through the green. So the 6 was removed. The 3 went in without too much deviation.
That's exactly right. And this is, of course, a little close for comfort. Cue ball on the rail-wise. Looks like he's elevating slightly. He'll try to just pull this cue ball a little bit over. Oh, he comes into the 9. He has such a great stroke. Boy, beautiful shot. It was a bit tricky, but he made it look quite easy. He'll tie this thing up in all likelihood.
And without being overly dramatic, in this format, winner breaks at this level. Any mistake could be your last mistake.
Oh,
I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you never know.
Oh, indeed.
So it's 2-all, and it's been all about the break-off or the ineffectiveness of the break-off. We've had 4 racks. 3 of them have resulted in scratches on the break. So another very hectic day in this 33-table arena is underway. And look at that, a 6-9 combination from that sharpshooting German Joshua Filler. He is fiercely determined to try and keep his hands on this trophy. Who wouldn't be? And right now he leads Thomas Haas by 4 racks to 1. Sanjan Polovanovic is on table 3, the youngster from Bosnia and Herzegovina. He leads Mohammad Daydat from South Africa 3-0. Abrin Shard from right here in the USA, he's 2-up on table 4 against Wojciech Szewczyk, who is a really good player from Poland.
Scores 2-2.
That was really good there. Pocketed a ball, controlled the cue ball so nicely where it just kind of hovered around the center. Good look at the 1. Everything goes, no balls are unobstructed. And as you said before, Phil, any mistake can be your last at this elite level. Not to say this run out is preordained by any stretch, but probably the 2 in the corner where he's cueing. Might have come up a hair short here. I'm not sure if the 2 goes in the bottom left or if the purple 5 ball obstructs the ability to hit it on the right. If it does, he did very much come up short, and he'll either need to back cut it into the top left or play a safety of some sorts.
Yeah, the straightforward pot just is none, so he can't get through past that 5.
Perhaps he could bank it into the top right and also hold the cue ball up behind the 5 and give himself a look at the 3. He does go with that, so this is a 2-way shot of sorts. Note if he missed it, which he did, he leaves him somewhat safe, although when we hang them up, it's never that safe.
So far this morning, the court jester is in serious mode, and who can blame him?
serious mode kind of situation. Almuhanna's probably going to try to hit the bottom rail as first, and he just
Foul stroke. Holding.
Just missed that.
And that was double whammy, not only failing to make contact, but also opening up the 4 and the 6.
Yeah, he doesn't look too pleased right now in the chair, Phil. Slightly short, he has a little work. See how the great Japanese player navigates this. Pink 4 is somewhat close to the 6, so he'll either run into them or go another way. Does run into it. Perhaps this rack continues on, although I think he could slice this into the bottom left. Very difficult shot, but the way this guy pockets balls, just sort of expect to see them drop. But he did deem it too thin, comes with a nice little safety shot here, and the fight continues here in rack 5.
Now that is Thomas Haas at the table on table 2 with an opportunity to cut his deficit against Joshua Filler. The cue ball was running wild there. It could have gone an awful lot wrong, but it's not. It's okay.
I think Almuhanna is going to be uncomfortably close to the 9 ball after this shot. Didn't quite get him as well. He did. If he freezed him on the bottom side of the 9, it's really just Alcatraz, but this is still, of course, unpleasant. But he does have a look at the top rail. He'll load this one up with left-hand spin if he chooses to go that route and try to spin, off of that first diamond or so where the 2 ball resides. A lot of left into the pink 4. Tricky shot on this new cloth, or perhaps he'll go a different way. He's using an extension now.
So we've just seen Haas get back to trail only 4-2 against Filler. We'll keep you right up to date with that match, of course. And as it progresses, Filler an immense favourite to go through, but not a certainty.
Not a certainty. Haas is a good player. I've seen him hit balls before. But of course, Filler is arguably the best player in the world. So comfortable, too. He's coming to the bottom rail.
Foul stroke.
Safety battle won by Oi.
Start the clock, please.
And now I'll use that phrase that we hear so often in the world of pool. It's about connecting the dots.
Connect them he does.
And for the first time, Naoyuki Oi hits the front. He was 1-0 and 2-1 down, but now he finds himself 3-2 ahead. Just a couple of storylines to tell you about from last night late on. You might remember Joe McGee, who was whitewashed by Judd Trump on the main table. Well, he bounced back on the one-loss side of the draw, beating Michael Sclafani 9-8 hill, but McGee held firm in the deciding rack. And also winning 9-8 was Wahid Hassan, or Hashan, I should say, from Canada, who overcame Karen Kaur 9-8. So Kaur, former women's world snooker champion and who's done so well in the world of women's pool as well, arguable to say that she was the biggest names so far to depart the tournament. 27 players departed after going 0-2 last night.
Rack 6. Naoyuki Oi to break, leading 3 racks to 2.
Corner ball drops, position on the 1. Let's see how he circumvents this side pocket close to the cue ball. Were he to make the one in the bottom left with a low ball, the cue ball would just naturally go into the side. So he has a little bit of work cut out for him here. He might go above the side and load it up with spin to draw back for the 2-7. If he did, this might be a aesthetically pleasing shot. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. I guess come around, and Almuhanna will be delighted to have another chance. As you were saying before, Phil, any mistake can be your last at this level. So time to capitalize here to tie it up and be 3-3 after he's made a few mistakes and so on against Naoyuki Oi would be really a great result for him. Tricky here. I'm not sure if he's going to try to slow roll it or come around. It's a bit thin, but maybe he can roll it and just hold the cue ball up for some sort of a combination or carom on the 2-7.
Hesitant, undecided, and so elects to take his 30-second extension. If you're unfamiliar with the shot clock, it's a 30-second shot clock, and each player is allowed one 30-second extension per rack. Oh,
he's coming around the world, Phil. Action on the 9-ball. Fortunately, he missed the 1. Luckily for him, the 8 impedes Oi's side of the 1, so he'll have to kick in some capacity. He was able to see just enough of it to try to carom the 7 off of the 1. And again, Almuhanna has a chance.
Yeah, he caught the 1 ball actually just a little too thick.
That he did. Have to be slightly careful on these not to double kiss the 7 with the 2. Should be okay. Maybe rail first with the 2 just slightly. Go straight into it. Does double kiss it, but no problems. He'll want to get nice position on the 3 to aid traveling for the 6. And this could be awkward if it keeps going. Looks like it just stops to not elevate him over the 8. And he could either just pull it off the rail and be content with the somewhat thin cut or draw it 1-2 across. Let's see. Does draw it across. These are tight pockets, Phil, so that was well struck.
He's not going to be a pushover. That is quite apparent. Omar Al-Shaheen showed what is possible for Middle Eastern pool by reaching the final of the World 9-Ball Championship before succumbing to Albin Aushin in June. He played so well, did Omar. And I think that's made his fellow countrymen realise that they can also make an impact. And that's precisely what Almuhanna is doing here. Good stuff. Okay, he was a little lucky to get the fluke snooker, but nevertheless, when he got his chance, he took it with aplomb. It means that Naoyuki Oi, who was a big favourite to win this match, is being held to 3 racks each. More after the break. Pool balls being knocked into pockets everywhere you look here in Atlantic City at Harrah's Resort. It's the start of day 2 of the 2021 US Open. You see the latest scores coming through. The first few scores are all from winners' first round matches. And you can see Joshua Filler on table 2.
3 racks each.
Now 5-2 ahead of Thomas Haas. All of the scores now are in the losers round. So those defeated in these matches, I'm afraid, will be going home. That's Jeremy Jones, by the way, who's going nicely today, the US Mosconi Cup captain. Jesus Atencio 7-1 up on Dawn Hopkins, I notice.
Beautiful sight here for Almuhanna. The 1 hangs on the side, which of course is lovely. 2 to the 3 is a bit tricky. We want to leave ourselves an angle on the 2 to get over for the red 3. Handles that very well. Should be able to come off the rail to center table-ish. Really no problems here. Touch thick, and he's come up badly short given how easy the 2 was to pocket. So he'll either have to cut this one in. Looks like he is based on the way he's cueing. Nicely done, but he's lost the cue ball, and this is really what Naoyuki wanted to see. Forgive the obvious.
Start the clock, please.
It's just a race to 9. Every rack so pivotal. Let's see how he navigates the 5 to the 7. He might play the 5 on the side, although he was eyeing it in the corner. The ball in hand, he can pretty much do what he wants. Interesting choice. He comes 1-2 across to play the 5 in the corner, so noteworthy for players at home. It's nice to see these champion type players when they have ball in hand, what their preferences are. He'll come 1-2 across and play the 8 in the top right, where the 3 rests. Possibly 1-2 and out to play the 8 where he's cueing right now. Let's see. Handy.
The cue ball was running close to the middle pocket, but to go in at that angle would have been almost ridiculous. So for the second time, Naoyuki Oi is back in front. It was 3-2, now it is 4-3. Down on the floor, by the way, is my good pal and the former US Open runner-up, Carl Boyes, about to keep us updated with what's occurring around this arena.
Table 2 is just over my shoulder. The defending US Open champion is leading 6-2. At the start, it was a little bit scary, but he's broke away. Back to table 1.
Thanks, Carl. Roving reporter, eh? He's a very versatile individual, this Carl. He is a brilliant player who, with Darren Appleton, almost came out of retirement to win the World Cup of Pool earlier this year, losing out in the final to Christoph Reinches and Joshua Filler. And I'm not being biased here as a Brit. They were so unlucky, Appleton and Boyes, in that final. They had everything go against them, and I'm sure Filler and Reinches were thanking their lucky stars.
I'm sure they were. Phil might be being slightly biased by the way, guys. You know how it is. No, but he's a brilliant player, and you know his analysis and work on this side of things is great as well. 4-3 Oi. Corner ball flies in. Position on the 1. Looks like he has a nice angle to punch across and play the 3 in the side by us. 4 next to the 3. Everything is fairly open at this elite level. You expect to see them clear these in relatively short order. Nicely done, center of the pocket. Didn't even flirt with the rails.
Sakura Muramatsu, who we saw lose to James Arenas. We saw a segment of that match over on table 2 yesterday. Arenas won 9-1. Well, Sakura today, she's doing a lot better. 6-0 up on Steve Kotuba.
Oh, bravo. Arenas is fantastic, so he can really beat anybody 9-1 on any given day. We just don't want to draw back in the side from which we're queuing. Nicely done. Cheated the pocket slightly to avert any flirting at all with the side, and he's trying to decide if he wants to play the 6 in the side or the corner. Perhaps it doesn't go where he's shooting the 5. If it does, he'll just play it there, but looks like it does go. It'll probably just come around. He's content to just drag the cue ball over, and he does so beautifully. Almuhanna's had chances, Phil. He's just gotten a bit careless in a few spots. Can't afford to do that versus this sort of ilk.
Indeed not. The elite players in pool will make short work of you if you make mistakes. And now, for the first time, Naoyuki Oi has a 2-rack gap. He leads 5-3. Oi has provided so much entertainment for us over the years, on and off the table. Some of his interviews have gone viral, as they say, and been wonderful entertainment. But he's also a very capable sword who got to the semi-final of the World Nineball Championship in 2012. He's helped Japan reach a couple of World Cup semi-finals in addition. And I think his run to the World 10-Ball Championship final last week will have infused him with an enormous amount of confidence.
Absolutely, and as you were saying just before tip-off here, he's a very affable chap, but also a killer. You know, he has that kind of split personality, for lack of a better.
I was talking about the fact that Mohammad Almuhanna will have taken great heart in seeing Omar Al-Shaheen do so well on the world stage recently. And we're going to see Omar over on table 2 shortly after the conclusion of the Joshua Filler match.
Nice, Omar's a fantastic player. Corner ball flies in. 1 nestles nicely in the side. Closest to us. Perhaps the 3 just got in the way. Doesn't look like it, though. I think he can just slide it past there. Position from the 1 to the 2 is slightly awkward. Maybe he can hold it up. He does just hold it up. It's a better shot than it looked like. Although this is slightly thin, but he should be able to twist it into the top right and find a way to get position on the 3, which is just hanging in front of the side. Cheated the pocket ever so slightly. Watch out. I believe that just cooperated ever so slightly.
By the way, the end could be nigh on the other table, table 2, the adjacent table to this, because Joshua Filler now leads Thomas Haas by 8 racks to 2. talking about the great heritage of Japanese pool down the years in terms of providing world champions. And although Oi has never won the world championship, 3 of his compatriots have. Takeshi Okamura, 1994. Kaneko Takahashi, 4 years later. And 10 years ago, Yukio Akagariyama.
Japanese contingent is strong. This is a little ticklish. Wanted to come across just slightly more. Hide it with respect. And played it beautifully. Although, spoke a bit too soon, Phil. This is tricky.
Extension, please.
Just asking the referee Brendan Moore for his extension. Composure time more than decision time. He knows exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, well said.
And well played from Naoyuki Oi. It was a worrying start in many respects when he was held to 2-2. Now, though, he is doubling up on Mohammad Almuhanna, and the reason for that, Oi's lead has been extended to a healthy 6-3. After a somewhat shaky start when he was undone by scratching on the brake, not once but twice, Naoyuki Oi looks in a pretty good place here against Mohammad Almuhanna. He leads 6-3 in this race to 9 in the second round of the US Open. Of course, it's vital not to go to that loser's side. Then you have to play so much pool and you have to walk repeated tightropes to remain in the event.
There have been some legendary marches through the loser side over the years, but not many. Corner ball flies in, one flies in the side. And they all set up beautifully for Oy to extend the lead potentially. 4 next to the 5, 6 next to the 7. Position from the 2 to 3, very natural. Would have to think he's 95 some odd % to clear these.
Now over on table 2, Joshua Filler just a couple of pots away from progress.
Yeah, he handles his business awfully quickly, Filler. Yeah, authority there.
The 9-ball not in doubt. The defending champion going well. In the next round, by the way, Filler will play either Sanjan Perlovanovic or Mohammad Dedat. Right now, Perlovanovic, who's a really good youngster from Bosnia-Herzegovina, leads 6-2.
Puts eyes on the tip. No need to miscue at a juncture like this. Nicely done.
Naoyuki wins the rack.
This is what you call taking control. To no one's surprise, he's had a really good year, Naoyuki Oi, at the age of 38. It's almost as though he's got a new lease of life. That's what is now required by Mohammad Almuhanna in this match. He has to fight back, and right now it would look unlikely. This tournament over the years has been won by so many of the greats of this game. It began in 1976, won by Mike Siegel. What a character. In more recent years, this is the roll of honour. Shane Van Boening, 5 times a winner in a 9-year span, including 3 consecutive victories in 2012, 2013 and 2014. 3 victories in Virginia for SVB. Also successfully retaining the title, the likes of Mika Immonen and Darren Appleton.
Rack 11. Naoyuki Oi to break. Leading 7 racks to 3.
It really is wild what Shane has done down here. Of course, he's one of the prohibitive favorites to perhaps capture a 6th title. I mean, there's a little bit of luck in 9-ball. To win it 5 times, it's just outstanding. And Oy is simply off to the races. Once again, they just line up beautifully. And naturally, from what we've seen here this morning, this man is a force as well. Coming off of that second you mentioned before, Phil, in the World 10-ball in Vegas. Here he is, just continuing to display exemplary form. The break is going well. Stroke looks great. Shot making is there.
Yeah, I employed the old connect the dots earlier on. Now I'm going to employ the old roadmap, because that's what this is.
Indeed. Just a touch of inside there to hold it up. Or I believe, as you call it, side check.
Nearly. Check side.
Check side. Excuse me. Very nice.
Everything going really well for Naoyuki Oi, who, if he progresses, will play either Roland Garcia from the Philippines or Konrad Yuzushin from Poland in the next round. And either way, that will be a really major examination. Should, of course, he clear this hurdle.
Absolutely, and I'm sure as the tournament progresses, the Philippine contingent will be represented greatly on this feature table. They have a tendency to get down there in these things. Oh my, he He opted to bank it in, Phil.
Well, Naoyuki Oi providing his own commentary there. Don't know whether you heard. He said, "Oh my God." It was interesting, actually. The only other time I've seen a ball go in so delayed was into that very pocket, and it was also the 7-ball Joseph Blyler in our first match yesterday.
That's right.
Oi now really in command. He leads by 8 racks to 3, almost with a victory in his pocket. And one man who does have victory this morning is Joshua Filler.
I'm here with defending champion Joshua. You've won your second match of the event, 9-2. How was it?
Well, I missed a couple of balls, played some bad positions because I'm still struggling with the table speed, but I think I'm going to get there, and then I'm going to be dangerous.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about the tables. 4.25 inches. What are the tables playing like? Are you a fan of the tighter pocket?
Well, I came from Vegas, and we played actually on the same table, but we played with a different club. But the table there played a lot faster than here. But we had, I think, 4.5-inch pockets, so you're going to already feel the difference because it's played tighter. But and you see everyone missing more balls than I think the last US Open. So it's going to be more interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, and what's it been like waiting? Obviously, we had to miss last year because of the pandemic. What's it like coming back as defending champion?
Well, to be honest, we didn't play much tournaments, but luckily we had some tournaments for Matchroom. Yeah, I mean, missing the last year was kind of tough because I was really wanting to play the US Open, but luckily we have it this year, and I'm really can't wait to play the next matches and grind there.
Yeah, Joshua, you're always a dangerous man on the pool table. Congratulations on your win. We'll see you in round 3.
Thank you.
Interesting insights there from Carl Boys with Joshua Filler. A couple of results to tell you about. US Moscone Cup captain Jeremy Jones, 9-0. He's won on the loser's side against Mike Salerno. And also Sakura Marumatsu. She was so crestfallen after losing to James Aranas heavily yesterday. Well, she's got her own back today. She's whitewashed Steve Kotuba 9-0.
Well, he likes to push out here. Almuhanna certainly will accept. He might bank it cross-side, although I think the 6 just impedes that. If it does, he'll play a safety of some kind. There's the one, puts it precariously close to the side, but did he just get there? I don't believe he did, Phil, and this one could be all she wrote.
Yeah, at 3-3, this match was definitely in the balance. That's not the case anymore.
That's what these truly world-class players tend to do. It's close, and then they run away with it. You see it happen so often in matches where they're the favorite going in or playing a player with just a bit less experience. Still tough, but they tend to just be off to the races at any given moment. That side pocket is awfully tight from this angle. He might elect to play it up the corner and try to hold the cue ball to play the 7 in the bottom left, or maybe even come across if it's too steep. And he handled that beautifully. Mr. Yates, pleasure watching this man work.
Absolutely.
Naoyuki wins right.
In the land of the rising sun, the sun has already gone down. It is night time, but for Naoyuki Oi, it's a bright dawn. It really is. He's playing some of the best pool of his life, and make no mistake, after dispatching Mohammad Almuhanna by 9 racks to 3, you have to believe he is a live contender to go all the way here in Atlantic City.
Naoyuki Oi showing his class. He's had a fantastic few weeks over here in the States and he's looking to win the US Open, and this is a fantastic performance to seal his place at the next stage of this fantastic event. And I'm delighted to say he joins me now. Naoyuki, that was some stunning stuff. You must be very happy.
Yeah, very happy. Yeah, today first break and me scratch. Second break, oh my God, scratch. Today every time scratch. Bad image, but today play good. Me
play very good. Like do you feel this is the best you're playing at the moment? You've been playing some very good stuff.
Yeah, good, very good stuff. Maybe stay in the good condition. Maybe win chance. I will win.
Yeah, because you just got to the final of the 10 ball.
Yeah.
But how special would it be to get to the final of this?
Yes. I have a mic. I have a Apple. Mike Appleman. Thank you.
Do you love this man?
Yeah. Exciting US Open.
How much you love this man? They love you here, Naoyuki. So you love being in America, don't you?
Yeah, I like it. Old people. I like you.
Oh, you like me?
Yeah.
Thank you. But they like you, and America loves you. You love America.
Yeah. 変なおじさんだから変なおじさん。変なおじさんだから変なおじさん。はい。
Naoyuki Oi.
Yeah,
Everybody, Naoyuki Oi.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we'll see plenty more of that this week, everyone. Right, let's get a recap of what we've got today. So there's confirmation there. Naoyuki Oi, a very impressive win over Mohammad Almuhanna. 9 racks to 3. Jason Shaw.